What are your top tips for GMAT critical reasoning questions?
At first, what's essential in critical reasoning is to be able to deconstruct arguments.
There's a variety of tasks that you'll be given, like to strengthen an argument, to weaken an argument, to find the assumption in an argument. And what makes the correct answer is going to slightly differ depending on the task.
So whenever you read a GMAT argument, you want to be able to identify the conclusion if there is one. You want to be able to identify the premises that are actually supporting that conclusion. But you also want to be good at arguing against or debating the arguments that they give you.
The whole point of these questions is that the original argument left out vital information.
Make sure you think about how the real-world applications of the logical fallacies that show up on the GMAT, how you see them in your day-to-day life.
Let's say you were walking down the street and the next 20 people that walked by you were all carrying umbrellas. Your natural conclusion would be, it's gonna rain. To get yourself in the GMAT mindset, what I would say is, let's pose some what-if questions to that. Like, what if it's not gonna rain, but a block further, someone's just handing out free umbrellas?
A lot of people treat the critical reasoning like reading comprehension. They're reading for this big picture main idea, when in fact you should be thinking about it in a more precise way than that.
Don't eliminate something just because the answer choice is confusing. I have a lot of students do this. The wording is really dense, or they can't really parse out what it's trying to say. And there's this tendency to just eliminate it so that they don't have to see it again. So if an answer choice doesn't make sense, don't fight with it. Just leave it on the page and keep moving. You might find that all of the other ones are easier to eliminate, and it turns out that was the right one.
A lot of times students will just try to challenge the premises outright and say, no, what the argument says is just wrong. But that's not how you want to argue on the GMAT. On the GMAT, you want to say, okay, granted that you're saying X, Y, and Z. Assuming that those things are true, the conclusion doesn't logically follow because A, B, C, D.
And so a big danger or a big problem that students have, I think, stems from they bring all sorts of outside assumptions or beliefs into the problem where it's not warranted. Not only is it not warranted, it'll get you in trouble because the GMAT knows that students do this. And so they're very good at writing answer choices that are taking advantage of what students want to do naturally.
If you like this video, subscribe. If you have questions, add it in the comments. Thanks for watching.